Hi everyone, greetings from Cork, Ireland. My name is Dave. I'm a friend of Peggy's, and I was delighted to say yes to a request from Peggy to send you guys a short video just to congratulate you all on 40 years of your Apple Club. Amazing. I think, yeah, 40 years for anything in terms of continuity is incredible. For a club, dedicated to Apple is pretty special. I suppose to put in context the 40 years, I was born in 1982. So, for those of you who were around since the very start of your club, that's a pretty impressive feat, right? Amazing. So, yeah, look, I guess I just wanted to share a few stories with you guys today. Obviously, the reason that Peggy asked me to share with you guys a message is that I work at Apple. I've been at Apple now nearly 17 years, which is pretty special, and special as well for me that Apple is in Cork. I graduated with an IT degree, spent a little bit of time in Cork, Ireland when I graduated from college, but then I moved to London because that's where sort of all the tech jobs were, 20 years ago. And in the process of that, a lot of US tech companies began to set up in Dublin, Facebook, Google, and whatnot. But part of a really special story is that Apple has been in Ireland for over 40 years now. Apple came to Ireland first in 1980, setting up a manufacturing facility where some of the original Macintoshes were built. Even prior to that, I think the Lisa 2 was built in Cork, at least in sort of that provisional stage anyway. So, Apple is really ingrained in Cork's history, and has grown from strength to strength over the years. There were some tough times. Absolutely, there were some tough times. I know that there was a point where the site, the facility in Cork, did nearly close in the 90s. Around the time when Apple went through a particularly difficult period. But thankfully, I think the return of Steve Jobs to the company um, really saved Apple, and absolutely saved Apple Cork, right? So, yeah, it's been an amazing journey for Apple in Cork, and especially for me, right? As I said, 17 years. I've seen a lot, and I might share a little bit about all that with you guys now, right? So I started in March 2008, right, which was an incredible time to start at Apple. As I said, I was living in London. I figured I'll move back to Cork now. I'll work in Apple in Cork for a couple of years, and then I'll move on to my next kind of career journey. Um, iPhone had just been announced. Steve had just announced iPhone in 2007, and it kind of came into Europe in around March, April 2008. So, yeah, I was brought in really junior. I think I was 25, 26 at the time, to work on systems. And I remember in my first couple of weeks, probably 6 weeks with the company, Steve decided that he was going to give everybody an iPhone, right? So I really got in at the ground level, at a really special time. So with that, I'm sure some of you have these, maybe even on display, but I do have my original iPhone here that I got, not personally from Steve Jobs, but pretty special nonetheless. I still have the box as well. I don't know if it's functioning, but it's got the old charging capability there. So pretty cool. So I'm delighted to have that. So we all got one of these, which I was absolutely blown away with. And obviously fell in love with iPhone, fell in love with Apple, and that those 2 years that I thought I was going to stay turned into, nearly 17 years, right? So pretty cool, pretty cool. And then I just, as I was digging through my box of old Apple products, I found this, my favorite iPhone of all time, the iPhone 4. I'm not sure if everybody would agree, but yeah, I still love this. Love the feel, love how cool it looks. Pretty special, yeah, pretty special. And this was an interesting one, as I'm sure you'll all remember, where I suppose the issues that we had with the antenna, they called it antenna gate. where Steve and Tim Cook had to do a press conference. Basically, they sat on a stage, apologized to customers and things like that. And it was all down to this little notch here, as far as I can remember, where the aluminium kind of wrap met, and it caused issue with the antenna. So interestingly, that impacted me from a work point of view, because Steve announced that we were going to do bumpers. I don't know if you guys remember the bumpers. A case was an option, but also they made bumpers, or we made bumpers, that kind of, solidified the signal and things like that, right? So that was pretty cool for me to work on. So I work in supply chain, and it's all about system supply chain. So while Steve announced that as a kind of a fix to the issue, I worked on the team in the back end that basically kind of designed how we were going to get them all out to customers, right? Obviously, the bumpers weren't a purchased product. They were given for free. So we had to figure out systematically how to do that and get them from China to our customers all over the world. But interestingly enough, for myself, right, I never had an issue with the antenna on mine. I loved this phone. So that was, that's definitely, I like the size as well. And interestingly enough, I just got my iPhone 16 on Friday. So if you do a compare, it's pretty big, massive difference, right? Pretty incredible. Yeah. So I do like the small form factor, I have to say. I wonder will we ever go back to it. But yeah, so as I was saying, I work in supply chain IT. And all that is focused on, end-to-end supply chain and making sure our systems are there to support our customers, right from the manufacturers in China, and indeed in Cork. We make MacBook Pros and iMacs in Cork. So I make sure that the systems are all there to support everything through the supply chain into our warehouses in EMEA, in a number of countries in EMEA. And and also for a time I worked on the Apple online store. So again, sort of in the back end systems, the pieces that you guys wouldn't see when you place an order on the Apple store, and the order drops into SAP, which is the ERP system that we use. I was part of the team that kind of set up a lot of those processes, both physical processes and systems processes. So it's it's been a pretty special journey. I work in what we call the business process re-engineering department, and that's really IT projects, right? And it's a great place to learn, do new things, be innovative, which is at the heart of everything that Apple does. So I've really had the opportunity to grow and experience a lot of my career down through the years, starting sort of working on the manufacturing side from a systems perspective, then spending a lot of time with the Apple online store. And now I work sort of again, like in deeper back-end systems and production support for, systems issues that we might have. But another part of the portfolio that I work in supports our online, not our online, our reseller business. So as an example, if I were to work in the same role in the US, I'd be supporting, Best Buy, AT&T, large companies like that sell Apple products, and supporting that integrated infrastructure between us and them. So it's really, really love the role. I've had the opportunity to jump around over the years, as I say, but it's been a special journey, and I'm really, really delighted to be able to send you guys a video, mainly to congratulate you, but just to share a little bit of my journey. Hopefully you found it interesting. I would have loved to have had a bit of an interactive chat, but obviously with time zones, that would be quite challenging. But maybe another time we could arrange that, and if the time zones could be linked up, we could have a more interactive chat. But yeah, for now, just want to say congrats again, enjoy the celebrations, and hope to see you guys maybe or talk to you soon, and take care. Bye bye.